You have a minute?
Sure, just a second. Yeah,
Hey, let's talk about our family disaster plan.
sure. Yes.
Call
Now
girls.
this should be moved into the area. I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Lauren, Reagan. Girls. Now that we've moved into this new area and, away from the other state, and so we have different disasters or different type of weathers here, me and Daddy want to make sure that you all know what to do and make sure that we have all our emergency kits together.
Okay. Well, let's focus on the type of natural disasters that they have in this area. Okay. Can you name a couple, Reagan?
A fire.
Okay. All right. What about you, Lauren?
Maybe a tornado or severe weather.
Okay. Sounds good.
So do you know what to do in case of any of these?
Well, in the case of a fire, you have to pick an emergency exit in case one of the other doors doesn't, if it's on fire.
Okay.
And you need to stop, drop, and roll if you ever catch on fire.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. What about you, Lauren?
Well, I know what to do for a tornado. If we'd go into our basement, and if we didn't have a basement, we would go into the lowest level possible and try to find a place that is close and has no windows. Maybe if a bathroom that has a bathtub, you would go in there.
Okay. Very good. Make sure you stay away from windows if there's a tornado, obviously.
Okay. So in case of a thunderstorm, got to make sure that we have every electrical item turned off and we don't turn it on. Unplugged as well.
Right. And everyone should know where the flashlights are at.
Exactly.
And the radio.
Exactly. And we have one in every room. We have a flashlight in every room.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
What about our first aid? What do we do with that?
Well, for one, we have to make sure that our first aid kit is complete with all the things we need to include our medications that we take. If we take any medications, we would definitely need to make sure that we have, our antibiotics and ice and Band-Aids and everything that's in here. So we actually do have to go through this ice pack and make sure that everything's here.
Okay.
So when we do need it, and know where it's going to be at.
Okay.
Okay, and we know to put it in our hallway closet, right? Okay. And if we ever did have to evacuate, go away, we know that we have all our important documents in here that we keep, and we keep it the same place where we can have that. So we're always going to need money. We're always going to need, and we keep our checkbooks. We're always going to need our passports. We have our passports, birth certificates, so that if we ever got separated and, we're going to make sure that you're our children, we have our driver's license, everything, so that we're linked up as a family, and people will know that if they ever come across this.
All right.
We'll put it together.
Well, if you need to get in contact with us, Lauren, and phones aren't working, is there an alternate way where you can contact us to let us know how you're doing?
Well, we can text.
Okay,
We
sounds
can learn
good.
how to do that. We can text maybe a relative that can get them.
Okay. Yeah,
So
this.
who would you contact if you couldn't get me and Daddy, and we were separated in any kind of way? Who would you be able to call?
Well, I would contact somebody that's not too close, but is at least close enough that you can contact.
In another state like Popo and Grandma in
South
South Carolina, or Grandma and Grandpa in Texas?
Yes.
Okay, it's just depending again wherever this natural disaster is going on at, where we would call family members, aunts and uncles in New York.
All right. Also, make sure we keep the map and keep that up to date. Also,
Our local maps.
yeah, local maps.
It's not gonna be working. Okay.
Okay. Well, since we talked about everything for our disaster preparedness plan, sounds real good. The next time we get together, we'll sit down and we'll practice.